Hey guys, it's Bella and welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I have a plan with me for the 3rd of February to the 9th of February. And this is using a kit from Planner Pixie Co. This is Spaced Out. This is art by Lily's Desk, which I was obsessed with this art when it was released. And I think I mentioned in the intro there that the male sort of fashion box reminded me of Taeyong from NCT, so that was another reason as to why I wanted to use this art. But yes, this was my dad's birthday week and I didn't really have any like birthday kits or anything specifically that I wanted to use for that, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to use this kit as like a summary kind of kit. And yeah, also just so that I could use it. And yeah, Planner Pixie Co came out with this kit, which is one of Randy's prefoiled. So it comes in the 10-page ultimate format. And then you just choose the foil option and then it is all foiled for you. So then all I had to do was bring in some underlays, which are from Plannahannah. They were from the Space Bundle, I believe. And then I did also pull in some hole protectors, also from Plannahannah. But I will mention that these are in Lavender Hollow, and I don't believe Hannah does Lavender Hollow anymore because she was having paper issues and whatnot. And then I did pick the kit up in Lavender Hollow from Randy's shop. So yes, I do have everything all laid out, and then I did also pull in some extras from Crest Press as well in Lavender Hollow, just to pull in any sort of scripts and icons, because I am trying to do that this year as well, is sort of like if I have any matching foil items in my leftovers to try and pull those in so that I can have a bit more foil in my spreads. But yes, I will mention apologies for like not having a video in pretty much a month. June was really good mentally, and then I just hit a big wall in July, just to do with like work and the weather and just everything. So yes, I did film I think these 2 spreads, so this spread and the next one, like towards the end of June, with the hopes of having it up towards the end of June. But the last sort of week or so of June was really busy because it was my mom's birthday week and, you know, lots going on and just, yeah. So yeah, apologies for that. I'm going to try and get these 2 videos up as soon as I can, and then just continue working through my spreads. I'm not going to try and like pressure myself to be caught up in a certain point, because that's what I did last year where I was like, okay, I'm going to be caught up by like October or whatever, and then I just fell off because I just couldn't handle it. So I'm just trying to be like really kind to myself and just take my time with it, enjoy the process, do this for fun, like this isn't a job, and yeah, and then like, you know, if I'm caught up by the end of the year, I'm caught up by the end of the year, and if I'm not, then I'm not. But yeah, we'll see how we go. But yeah, so starting off on Monday, the first thing I marked in was that I worked, because I did work an extra day this week because this was the week before stock take. So we had all hands on deck, so there was 4 of us in the like prep for stock take. So Emily and I did all the sort of day-to-day tasks that we normally do in the pricing team, so all of our, you know, daily label changes and whatnot, price changes and things, the specials and all that kind of stuff. And then we also were doing all of the maintenance labels as they were coming through, because Val and Diane were sort of ensuring that all the products were accounted for and like had a label and whatnot, because with stock take, if the item isn't there on the shelf, then they do just scan the like shelf label. So yeah, so just doing all that, that was pretty much our week. So I think Emily was with me until I think Thursday, and then Friday I was by myself, because then she did go to, I think she went to Japan at the end of this week for her vacation, which was really nice. But yeah, so I went to work, I booked my nail appointment, I filmed my planner lineup, which was possibly my like January, February one, I think. I have planned my March lineup, but it will be a little while before that comes up. And then I have yet to film any other lineups because I was super late in ordering some things that I needed, like foil wise. So once I get those, I will probably film April and May combined, and then just, like I said, have all of these things like filmed in the logs, so then I can sort of upload them as I go, rather than trying to like stress myself out to like film everything as it comes, if that makes sense. Or like trying to batch film while also like not putting pressure on myself to film constantly and edit constantly, because that is a lot of work. But yes, had a YouTube binge, and then I've had their comeback, which I didn't really enjoy as much. I think I liked the title track, which was Attitude, and possibly one of the B-sides. I think it was a mini album, so it was only like 5-6 songs, something like that. But yeah, kind of a miss for me, which does happen with girl groups a lot of the time. That's why I tend to listen more to boy groups. But yes, if you didn't know, IVE is a K-pop girl group. So yeah, then I did some designing, which could either mean designing the icons and things that I use for like my monthlies and the extra stickers I make for myself to go with the Honeybee Shop kits, or I could have been designing icons for my 𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚘𝚗𝚘 plans, which technically I'm not designing them, I'm just recoloring them with permission from the artist. But yeah, and then I just did some planning, which I have no idea if that meant like planning in my planner, like in this planner, which I don't think it was. I think it was probably just like planning in my 𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚘𝚗 plans, and then also setting up my like journal and doing all that kind of stuff, possibly. But yes, sorry, it's been a while since I filmed this, and I honestly don't remember a lot of what I did. But the phone icon is from the Caress Press foil sheet. The camera is from Carly Plans. The laptop icon is from a shop that is no longer open. The headphone sticker is from 𝚑𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚘𝚗𝚑. The laptop is from the Plannahannah bundle, like leftovers. And then the journaling or planning emoji is from the 𝚜𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚙𝚜 Co. And then I did end up pulling in like some foiled scripts and things sort of throughout the spread, which you'll see later on. But yeah, then on the Tuesday, I marked in, I think, now I'm trying to remember what sign that is. I think that's, oh, okay. I want to say Jupiter, but I feel like that's wrong. So I don't know. I need to like memorize my astrological signs, but I do have this written down because I do make these stickers for myself for my like astrology things that I like to put in my planner. I think that's Jupiter, but don't quote me. But anyway, one of the planets went direct. I went to work again. So I did that normally with the piece of deco. But yes, for the Monday, I did just have to pour in some extra like foil deco because I didn't have enough of the deco elements from the kit to do 5 days of work, if that makes sense. But yes, and then the work script is one that I made myself. I marked in that I had a sore knee because I don't know what it was. I think it was just like the humidity possibly just messing with my joints. I brought the bins in. I got a cotton on delivery because I think I had placed an order the previous week. I went to Pilates and then I was just feeling nauseous because I think we did a lot of abs this day. And sometimes when we do ab exercises, I get a little bit yucky, like in the tummy, or like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just because like, you activate all the, you know, the muscles and the nerves and everything in the region, so then it can make you feel gross, I think. I don't know. But yeah, so the bin icon was from Paper K. The squish is from Fox and Cactus, as is the Pilates girl, and then the squidge is from Stick with the Plans, and the pill icon is from Plannahannah. On Wednesday, I marked in my Amazon bill with the bill due from the kit. Again, went to work, so I used the work script and a piece of deco, and then this was my dad's birthday, so I used the balloons, which I believe are also from that shop that is no longer open, possibly. But yes, and then it was payday, and I was feeling drained, and then we went out for dad's birthday dinner, so we went and had noodles, like we went to the noodle bar in the casino, and then we went to the casino and like played a little bit. But yeah, and then I was feeling in my feelings that day because this was the second day of the Drake concerts, because Drake came to my city and he had 2 concerts, one on the Tuesday and one on the Wednesday, and I really wanted to go because I have listened to Drake since I was in high school pretty much, and I was just feeling like really, really down because it's like, had I still had my friend group that I had, you know, many moons ago, possibly I would be able to go. But yeah, and then it also didn't help that my dad's girlfriend was like, oh, how is like such and such? Do you still like talk to them and da da da? And I had to be like, no, not really. Like, you know, so it was just kind of awkward. Just one of those like, yeah, in my feels kind of thing. And I think also like the fact that I was just tired from work just didn't really help with that, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was kind of like, you know, I don't know, one of those things where it's like these kinds of events come up and then you kind of get reminded of like the situation that you're in and you're kind of like, oh, well, this kind of sucks. But yeah, so that is something that I am, you know, slowly working towards, is, you know, rebuilding friendships and things, not like with people that I previously had friendships, but like trying to make new friends and like put myself out there and, you know, doing all that, which is a work in progress, because otherwise I'm very much a lone wolf, and I am an only child and I don't live anywhere near family either, so like that doesn't help with how I feel a lot of the time. So yes, but yeah, on the sidebar I did just put in a pencil sticker from Paper K because my highlight of the week was stock take, and then the payday icon and the like drained dot the bear were also from Paper K. The chopsticks were from Carly Plans, and then the In My Feelings was from Once More With Love. So then moving on to Thursday, again had work, and this was a really productive day, so I think it is marked in that I had a good day at work with a sticker from Fox and Cactus, because I do like to do that sometimes if I have like a noteworthy day at work. Most of the time it's just kind of like, you know, it's work, but some days it's like you feel really good afterwards because you're like, oh my god, I accomplished so much. Because I think this day, like, we pretty much got through the bulk of what we needed to get through, so then Friday was like smooth sailing, and then we were all set for stock take the following week. But yeah, and then it was hot, so I just marked in that it was hot because it was summer, and February is always like, I think, the hottest out of like the 3 sort of summer months, and it tends to be quite humid as well, because then once we hit March, it's still quite hot, but then it's like humid and gross, and then it sort of cools down as we get towards the end of March into autumn and whatnot. But yeah, so I just used that sticker from the Coffee Monsters Co to mark that in, and then I went to get my hair done, and I'm trying to remember if this was the day that I spent like 5 hours in the hair salon, or if I did that previously. I honestly don't remember. But yes, I did go back to brown hair, and so it did take, the first session took like 5 hours because they had to do all the color correction and whatnot, because I was previously like a burgundy kind of red, so they had to like get all the orange out and, you know, do all that, so it took a while. And then yeah, and then I think I had to do like a couple more sessions, not like to fix it, but more just like to get to the desired color that I wanted, which was like pretty much like my natural color. So now, as of July, I'm pretty much like in a place where I don't need to dye my hair as frequently. I sort of spoke to my stylist, and she's like, yeah, you can go to like do semi-permanent color, and then, you know, you don't have to come as frequently, and it's also not as damaging. But yeah, so that's really nice. But yeah, so I marked in getting my hair done, and then I was just feeling drained, and I had a YouTube in. So that hair dye sticker is from Peppershire, the feeling drained dot the bear is from Paper K, and then the YouTube icon is from a shop that is no longer open. So yes. Then on Friday, I went to work in the morning, and then after work I went and went to my nail appointment, which I believe these were my Valentine's nails, I think. So this was like my last sort of Gel X refill, because then I did get my Gel X taken off, I think in March, and then I sort of had a break from it until like the end of April, sort of beginning of May. So yes, but this was my Valentine's set, which I was obsessed with. I do get most of my like set inspiration from either Pinterest or like press-on accounts on Instagram, and then I do always like credit, if I can find out whoever was the person based on the Instagram, the Pinterest photos, or on Instagram, like the account that I got the inspiration from, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm fumbling. I haven't done a voiceover in a while, and my brain is just like, ooh. But yes. So yes, got my nails done, and then I was feeling drained because it was a long day at work, and then my nails do take, you know, a while. Like usually a refill with like a complex design is like, you know, 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours. But yes, and then obviously like a new set is pretty much, you know, about the same depending on if I get a design or not, because I do tend to get like somewhat complex designs. But yeah, which is why I do book my appointments in advance, so that they have the time slot that I need. But yes, I was feeling drained, and then Mum and I watched Pitch Perfect for the bajillionth time. It is one of our like emotional sport movies. Like it's just one of those ones I can like watch over and over again. I hate the sequels. Like I absolutely hate the sequels, but I love the first Pitch Perfect movie. So we're watching that. So that Avery sticker is from Carly Plans. And then had a YouTube binge. That sticker is from Planner Pixie Co, although you can no longer get those. And then I had an early night. So that sticker is from Tickle Pink Planning, who is no longer doing physical stickers. They are now a digital only shop. So I will have to check them out at some point and download a bunch of digitals and make some stickers for myself, because I do love using these primrose stickers when I can. And I think that's everything. And then I just used another Dot the Bear at the top. And then I did use the nail polish icon from the Caress Press bundle, sort of leftover thing. And then Saturday we got up early, so I used the coffee cup from the Plannahannah icons page. We went to yoga in the morning, so we went to Hatha. So that Dot the Bear is also from Paper K. And then we booked Pilates, because we tend to book Pilates on the weekends, because I think it bills on the Friday, but we always tend to just like check it on the Saturday and sort of, you know, book for the week. Then I had a nap, and then this was the day that Mum and I binge watched the entire 5 hours of American Manhunt O.J. Simpson. Oh my god, like I honestly didn't really know too much about the case. Like I knew bits and pieces here because it was kind of, you know, before my time. But my god, that was such an interesting documentary, so heartbreaking. But yeah, like really, really good. I haven't watched any of the other sort of American Manhunt documentaries, because I know there is one, I think for the Boston Marathon bomber. I think that was like the first one that they made. And then I think the most recent one they did is about Bin Laden, which seems really interesting, but I have yet to sort of watch any of those. There's so many like documentary series on Netflix that are actually really, really good, and I need to just like make a list of them and just like sit down and watch, because they're really good for like weekend sort of watching when you don't really have anything to watch and you kind of want to watch something. So yeah, so that was really interesting. So I used the squish from Fox and Cactus for that. Same with the nap squish. And then I just marked in feeling down, because yeah, like I said, it was a heart-wrenching, heartbreaking, just, yeah. So I used the In My Feelings sticker from Once More With Love, and then I just marked in binge watching, because I think I was watching Veronica Mars, because I did restart my rewatch. I watched season 1 and season 2, and then I just didn't bother watching season 3 and season 4 again, because I didn't really enjoy season 3 as much. That's like the college season, and then season 4 was like the reboot after the movie, and I hated that as well, because I hated how they ended that. So season 1 and season 2 are sort of my favorite. I would say season 1 of Veronica Mars is like my ultimate favorite, but season 2 is still pretty good. So I think I was just watching that to sort of like, you know, get my brain back after you know, an emotional 5 hours. So yeah, that sticker is from the 𝚜𝚑𝚘𝚗𝚜 Co. And then on Sunday, again, we got up early and then we went to restorative. So again, some more yoga. Then we went and had sushi. So I marked that in, and then we did groceries, and then I went and had a nap. But in my case, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have a nap. And then I end up sleeping for like 5 hours. It's really bad. It's a really bad habit. And I really need to work on it. But I just don't. I'm like, I'm going to have a nap, but I'm not going to set an alarm. I'm just going to have a nap and see how we go. And then I end up sleeping for like 5 hours, 6 hours. So I did use the Do Not Disturb sticker from Once More With Love. And I just wrote, like, when I filled it in, I wrote, nap turned into sleep. And then again, was watching some more Veronica Mars. And then I slept early. So yes, the yoga girl is from Fox and Cactus. The sushi sticker is from my shop that I believe is no longer open. And then I've got the grocery squidge. And then, like I said, the Do Not Disturb nap sticker from Once More With Love. And then I used another Avery from Color Plans to mark in watching Veronica Mars. And then I just used the bed icon from the foil bundle to mark in sleeping early. So yes. So yes, here is the finished spread all filled out and with all the scripts and things added in. And I really, really love how this turned out. I forgot to mention in the intro, apologies for the lighting and whatnot in this video. I think the day I filmed this, it was like super gloomy. And so then I did have to have the light on. And I don't remember if I filmed this really late in the afternoon as well, which probably also didn't help with the lighting. So apologies for the lighting, but I feel like it helps you to be able to see the foil really nicely. So yes, also my editing software has frozen. So I have no idea what I am showing or saying. So that's great. But yes, here is the finished spread. Like I said, really, really love how this turned out. I think I'm just showing you what I have left from the kit, which honestly is mainly just like some labels and, you know, like bits and bobs. But like I did use a good chunk of the kit for the planning style that I do have, because obviously Randy does the like no white space, like full underlays on every sort of box, or like every other box, and then like scripts, like printed scripts. So yes, and then I think I did just show what pens I've used, but again, my editing software is not working with me today. So yes, that is it for this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. As always, all the shops will be listed down below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.